Hey guys, it's Georgia and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing my highly requested tanning routine, and I'm going to be featuring my little secret tip that is probably more well known than I think, but nonetheless, here is how I tan. So anytime I'm wanting to tan, I start by filling up my bathtub with nice warm water, and this is perfect for just bathing your skin in. I like to sit in there for probably around 5 minutes and just let the warm water soak into my skin and open up my pores before I start to exfoliate and scrub. So the body scrub I like to use is the coffee scrub from Loxia Home, and I actually have this massive tub of it just because my sister owns it so I can get as much as I like. But this is the exfoliating glove that I like to use. I like to use a glove just because it's a lot easier. You can get these from your local supermarket or Priceline or anywhere like that. And I just grab a small handful of coffee scrub and work that into my skin. Be careful not to be too rough with your skin, especially if you have quite sensitive skin. I have fairly normal skin, but my skin still ends up being a little bit red if I rub too hard. So I just like to nicely exfoliate all of my skin and just clean it all out, get all the bad stuff out, make sure that my skin is just skin and there's no like oils or anything like that locked in my pores. It also helps to remove the top layer of dead skin and just make sure that there is a nice smooth base for your tan. When you rinse this coffee scrub into your bath, it looks so disgusting and dirty, but I assure you it's all for the love of your tan. So I'm just warning you that some of these pictures you can see how dirty the bath water gets. So I just exfoliate my whole entire body using this coffee scrub, even my stomach, my back, my arms, my neck, my chest, literally all over my body, and I just make sure that it's nice and fresh skin that I'm going to apply my tan onto. If you're just doing this by yourself, it can be very hard to scrub your back, but I somehow bend my arms in like awkward positions and somehow manage to cover my entire body. Now I'm using the Garnier Tan Preparation Scrub. I've had this for quite a while and I just wanted to get rid of it, but I have been using this the last few times I've been tanning, and I don't really know how this is too much different from what the coffee scrub does, but I just thought I'd include this to show you like another product that you might like to use. They do have quite a lot of tan preparation scrubs out there on the market, which you could probably have a look for if you didn't want to go for like a coffee scrub. They have a ton of body scrubs. You just have to see which one you think you would like and what would work for you. Now it's time to shave, and I'm using this shave gel. I use this every single time I shave my legs, and just a disposable razor, and then I just go in and shave my legs as normal. You can shave anywhere else. I also do my underarms as well, anywhere you would normally shave, and this also helps to remove the top layer of dead skin and make your skin feel really nice and smooth and help to create that really nice base that we're looking for to apply your tan onto. Then I just head into the shower and wash everything off and rinse my body with some nice fresh water. I do this in the shower just because the bath water is very dirty by this stage. Then once I get out of the shower, I like to pat my skin dry and dry my entire body completely. And then for the purpose of this video, I am changing my togs because they were absolutely soaked and that doesn't really work too well with your tan. So this is just a pair of old togs that I don't mind if they get tan on. Now there's a lot of discussion about whether this step is useful or not, but I find this works well for me. So I'm taking my Vaseline spray on moisturizer and moisturizing any parts of my body that are really dry, which include my knees, ankles, knuckles, wrists, and anywhere of that description. Oh, my elbows, obviously. Then I like to let this dry and let my skin kind of calm down a little bit, and so I'm just putting on my little robe that I got from Cotton On Body, and I'll just go and do something for around 1 to 2 hours, like editing a video or something like that. Then after that I'll come back into the bathroom and get ready to actually tan my skin, and then I like to pin my hair up just so that it's off my back and it won't disturb any of the tan that we're about to use. The tan that I've found that's worked best with my skin is the Bondi Sands tanning foam in the shade Dark. I love how this looks on my skin. It's very green based and it looks a lot more natural than some of the orangey tinted ones out there. This is the largest size bottle that you can get, and for the purpose of this video I'm actually using the smaller one because that was the only one they had in Priceline when I ran out, so I'm just going to finish off using this one. And I absolutely adore this tan. It's very long lasting and it looks beautiful, and I'm going to show you guys how I apply it. So my little secret tip that is probably well known now is I use a buffing brush, or in this instance a kabuki brush, to buff the tan into my skin in circular motions to get the most streak free and natural results. But I always use a tanning mitt to first apply the tan to my skin. This one's the Models Prefer one. I think it cost around $8 or $9 or something like that. You can get them for really cheap. I actually use the Bondi Sands one now. And when I apply the tan to my skin, I like to use circular motions, and that's how I find that it applies best. So now finally I'm able to start tanning my skin, and I'm going to start by doing my chest. I always start by doing my chest. A lot of people start with their legs and whatever. I don't know why I start with my chest, but I normally do 2 pumps to start off with and just pat this in circular motions and really get it into my skin, and I just use the tanning mitt to do so, and then I go in with my buffing brush and buff it all into my skin, and I get rid of any harsh lines or anything like that, and it honestly looks so incredibly natural. If you haven't tried this when you're tanning, I definitely recommend it. Definitely a really good idea if you're looking for a really natural tan like I always am. And then I just do the same steps over all of my limbs and the rest of my body. I generally will do 2 pumps on both arms, and then 2 pumps on like my shin area, and then another 2 pumps on my thighs, and then 1 pump on my stomach, and 1 pump on my back, and then another pump on my shoulder blade area. A common question I get asked about tanning is how I avoid getting tan hands, and basically what I do is any of those dry areas that we put moisturizer on earlier, all I do is I get the residue on the tanning mitt or like leftover tan after I've done one area, and I just go over with that product that's still left on the tanning mitt, and I just go over those areas, and that's how they still get tan but they're not too overpowering and full on like the rest of my body, if that makes sense. And then I go over with a buffing brush as I do for the rest of my body, but I make sure that I really buff the tanning product into those areas. Now, if you don't have anyone to do your back for you, it can be quite difficult, but I have gotten around doing it every time, and all I do is just bend my arms, again in really awkward positions, and try and just cover my whole back. I normally flip the tanning side of my mitt onto the front of my hands, and that sort of helps me a bit as well. It's just a bit hard. You kind of have to fiddle and see what works for you. Now, I like my tan to be quite dark, so I'm going over my skin again with another layer. To do 2 layers, that will make sure your tan is quite dark. You can leave it at just 1, but I like to do 2 just to get a really nice dark sun-kissed look. And this is how the tan looks after I've done 2 layers. It's completely streak-free and it looks really natural. So then I go ahead again and put on my tanning robe, and then I leave my tan on for around 12 to 14 hours. I sleep with it overnight. You can leave it on for as long as you like it, but obviously the longer you leave it on, the darker your tan will. Then the next morning I wake up and I head straight into the shower to wash off the top layer of my tan. This isn't going to wash all of your tan off, but it's just going to get off all of that sticky stuff that's on the top. And I don't scrub my body, I don't brush my body over or anything. I just literally stand there and let the water drain over me, and then once I get out I pat my skin dry. Be sure not to rub, because you will rub the tan off. It will be very vulnerable at this stage. Now that I'm completely dry, I grab my Bondi Sands Gradual Tanner and I put this over my entire body. This just really nourishes your skin, and you don't even have to use this particular product. You can use another gradual tanner like the Dove one, or even just a general moisturizer. To prolong the wear of your tan, it's really important to moisturize your skin at least once a day. I generally moisturize twice a day, every morning and every night, and at night time I'll use just a general thick moisturizer, and every morning I'll use this Bondi Sands Gradual Tanner. As I said earlier, I like my tan to be very dark, and this product helps me to achieve that. This is the Bondi Sands Wash Off Spray Tanner, and basically this is like a topper. So if your tan is wearing and you're going to some place that you want to be really dark for, you can just spray this on and buff this in with the blending brush that you use when you're tanning, and it's just perfect. It makes you extra dark, and then it'll wash off the next time you hop in the shower. It's really useful and I love this product. I use it literally every time I tan. And so this is the end result after I've finished tanning. It's completely streak free and there's no transfer. So that's it for my tanning routine. If you do still have any questions about my tanning routine, then please leave them in the comments below, because I'm doing a tanning Q&A very soon. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.